53 years ago. And now I'm still on it. And it's exciting, the journey. But sometimes the darkness is there. And I suffer the death of my wife. I suffer the criticism of doubt in the people. But look at the world. You would expect, if you want to bring happiness, strength, and health to billions of people, you have to get through the wall of ignorance. You have to get through the wall of existent paradigm that holds the money, that holds the power, that doesn't share the happiness, the strength, and the health in the world.
Wim, you are very, very welcome to the ScaleX Insider podcast, my friend. It's been quite a while coming, but it's an absolute privilege and honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Benny, for having me on ScaleX. Let's scale up.
Let's scale
up. From X is 10 in the Roman numerology. I was just in Rome, and all the ways lead to Rome. I tell you, we are Rome. We are the future. We are the ones to bring a much better way how to get a control within pure stress. Because we actually are built to endure stress. Only we evade, we flee from stress, and thus our control over our stress is simply willfully not there as much. And that's why we suffer from stress. Yet it's inevitable. So what is the solution? That's where I come in and I say, if you go to the stress, then the stress will not come to you. Isn't that logical? And that means if you go into an ice bath, then your body is built to, within 1.5 minutes, to adapt to that stressful, negative, very cold power of the cold coming on the body, and then activate our stress mechanisms from the deep brain into the body, and to make it so strong that the cold is no longer felt. And that is what we normally evade. We flee from that moment of confrontation. We always seek for comfort zone. And that's why we don't learn to deal with the stress when it comes to us. We never did. So let's turn the tables with the stress. Because very recently we did a study with 540 people comparing this method of going into the stress and going into this breathing, which is also very stressful. Yet it is completely controlled. It is completely controlled so much that we learn to have a hold over our stress mechanisms inside our brain in relationship with our body. So in that comparative study with 540 people, they compared it with mindfulness and meditation, which is overall implemented and known and accepted in the whole wide of world as a therapeutical power, as a tool to battle stress in corporate world, but also in wellness industry and in health industry in general. It is everywhere accepted. But now I tell you, we have found this method to be more effective, to be much more effective, because you go much more into the stress when you go into an ice bath, and you learn very rapidly to connect with the deepest part of the brain, which is holding the control over stress. And because you are going into an ice bath and you adapt within 1.5 minutes, suddenly you connect willfully with a neural pathway to the stress mechanisms inside the brain. So, with regular ice bathing, we handle the rest of the day not only with a whole lot more energy, because you also exercise and stimulate the cardiovascular system, which is more than 100,000 kilometers, like 70,000 miles inside every one of us, with millions of little muscles. It's all there. You do not only train that makes the blood flow go much better to the cells, by which the cells are much better fat, by which we get a lot more energy. That is one. You train your cardiovascular system as well. But because you go voluntarily into the cold, into that experience, suddenly you create a conscious neural pathway with the stress mechanisms in the deep brain. That is with the cold. And that you can use because suddenly the pathway is there. You get control over the stress mechanism. You get to influence deeply and activate. And when you need it, boom, it's there. Because you know what's happening. You are prepared, like you prepare for the ice bath. That is one. Two, in the corporate world, if you work a lot on keyboards and all, that is exercising the brain activity. And as any organ within us, in due time, exercise makes our liquid, the blood, acidic. It's logical. The tissue, acidic, like muscles, acidic, also in the brain. And then we become sluggish, tired. It's not, you're not sharp anymore. You do 20 minutes of breathing and you are fresh like a chicken again. Isn't that amazing? This is what I hear, Benny. I hear this of CEOs telling me. So it's not my philosophy or belief. This is coming back from the corporate world to me. I'm just passing it on here. Hey guys, listen up. We got something that shit really works. Take it on, man. It's beautiful. And it also brings you to your purpose. Because what is your purpose? Purpose is life. Life itself. If you get a handle over your life, over your health, over your strength, your energy, that is the expression of our soul. Let's not lose it. Let's invigorate in life. And how you use it is up to you. Don't lose the connection. The connection is inside the deep brain. And with that, if once you learn to connect with the deepest part of the brain, which are the stress mechanisms, then where else can you not go?
So let me come to that, because we have defined 10 principles of scaling, Wim, and psyche is the very first principle. You may not be aware, but lack of ambition of the leader is cited as the single greatest impediment as to why SME leaders do not scale with purpose. The lack of ambition of the leader doesn't really resonate with me. What I've come to know over the last 4 or 5 years working with business leaders is actually they arrive at a point where they're fearful, their fear of failure, their fear of judgment. They actually arrive in a place of comfort. And what I'm hearing from you in the context of the method, and of course I know the method intimately, but I'm going to speak on behalf of the listeners who may not be familiar with the method. What I'm hearing from you is that actually by addressing fear head on, in this context, the fear, the ice bath could represent the fear of actually expanding your business, the fear of taking on new team members, the fear of going into a new marketplace. By actually practicing, by going into the ice, we're stimulating these neurological pathways which actually support us in addressing those fears Can you speak to that?
Easy. Yes, I can, Benny. I did a study last April, not this April, April last year, with 100 people. And people who were doing the breathing, I had three groups. One group doing the breathing exercises, one who was starting, so not regular breathing, starting, and the ones who didn't do any breathing. And they all got to do the same task on a computer with a headphone. In the headphone, while doing the task, they got stressful signals coming through. And it makes your eyes blink involuntarily. And that was being measured as part of the stress mechanisms inside the brain, which is the amygdala. And the amygdala is the seat of fear. Because when stress becomes overwhelming, you have no control anymore. And then the signal is fear. Because you lose control, there's too much stress coming in, you cannot handle it, you lose control. And then you get the signal fear. Fear that you lose control. And that, now, we had these three groups. The ones who didn't do nothing and had their headphones up doing the task and having these stressful signals, they had a range of stress registration in the brain. You could see that. They got these monitors for that. Neuroscience, it all is. Then the people who just started that day with the breathing exercises, they had half the stress registration. And the ones who did regular practice with breathing, they had 1/10 of the stress registration. So they had no fear because they didn't lose any control. We lose our control in society because there is too much influx, too much stress created. We lose the control over our vision being implemented, our vision being manifested, how to control the situation, how to control the competition, how to control what you do not really know yet. You should be calm and serene, objectively being able to lay out and pioneer and see maybe this, maybe so, what is the best way, but not within the stress, because you will not be able to detect what is yours, because you are out of control. And that creates all the fear. And then you cannot frustrate, and then you cannot go again because, no, I don't want that feeling anymore. I tell to those people, do the breathing in the morning. Do every time you go and do something very stressful, like soliciting or a big deal or whatever takes a lot of stress, wherever your ass is on the line, there before you go into breathing, 20 minutes, and you will see you stay calm, where normally you would lose your control because too much stress is coming in. Too much expectation is coming in, and you cannot deal with that. If you do this breathing, you learn to activate the deepest of the brain and bring down the stress registration by which you maintain control. This is neuroscience. This is new neuroscience. Yet not published, but I'm telling you. And that's what I say to all people. What do you got to do this and that? No, I just say one thing. Breathe, motherfucker.
So
keep it simple.
I'm delighted we have a ScaleX Insider exclusive. I wasn't aware of this. Obviously, I've studied to become a Wim Hof method instructor. I am a Wim Hof method instructor, graduated a number of years ago. So this is wonderful. So what I'm hearing, Wim, is that ultimately our amygdala that sits within our brain is constantly scanning the environment for potential threats, potential danger. And in the context of scaling a business, that can be anything. That can be competitive threat. It can be increases in costs. It can be loss of a key employee. And what I'm hearing from you in this latest study is actually regular breathing, a morning practice, actually reduces the sensitivity of that amygdala to perceived threats, which really aren't threats in themselves, and actually give you clarity in the context of your vision, which I absolutely love. There's something that you say in your incredible book.
Podcast. My wife is here.
The boss is here. The boss is here.
Oh yeah. We think we are the boss, but no way.
We know
respect your mother and respect all new mothers.
Absolutely. We know that to be very, very true. I absolutely love your book. For those listening, you won't be able to see me holding up Wim's book, The Wim Hof Method. I urge everyone listening to go and get a copy of this book. You say in the book that we have nothing to combat but our own conditioning and fear. Can you share with our listeners what you mean by that, and especially in relation to our conditioning?
Yes. Every day is new. You can't contain the day by your thinking, what you experienced, and think, oh, now there's a new day coming, and this is what I'm going to do, and this and this. No. The day is like the wind. You cannot catch it. You think you catch it. Hey, I got the wind. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, and that's exactly the way we should start the day. It's new, it's fresh, but I'm open, and I will send my intention to be part of the magic of today. A good deal is the magic. A good conversation is the magic. Good negotiations are the magic. Good work is the magic. Good creative thinking. That is all the magic. But it can only come in if you go past what you already have experienced. Because what is new, that is exciting. That is not only exciting for you, it's also exciting for others. They will see and feel your energy. They will be taken. We want to innovate. We want to develop. We want more. That is all related to expansion of brain activity or expansion of consciousness. But let's not get into the philosophy of narrowed consciousness and an expanded consciousness. Simply every day being fresh, alert, will make you able to make the best of deals outside of what you thought was possible. And this is my new book. My new book is about trust. Trust your intention. Because now I'm doing the neuroscience on that, and it shows. Let me go a little bit in one study I did, in which I did not know what to do. And I had to change neuroscience as it was. Namely, can we control our bodily functions just at our will? After 74 people who could not. And they were all tested. And that was 75. That was me. And these neuroscientists, professors, they were saying, yeah, we cannot top down regulate our bodily functions. We cannot. We have no willful control. That is the neuroscientific paradigm. And then the day I was examined, I did the same as the 74. But then the next day I had to do what the Iceman is doing. And I actually don't know what I'm doing, but I always give my best. You know what happened? That morning, I thought, what do I have to do different of what I already have shown And with that, 74 people confirming this neuroscientific paradigm that it is not possible to control, say, cold coming on my skin, and just by using my will, make my skin temperature not go down. That was the experiment. That is top-down regulation. And I didn't know. So there I was thinking, now we're in a clinical environment, I have to show something that never has been shown. What do I have to do? And then I thought, I do what I always did. I always give my best, and the best will come about. Because nature knows more than me and my past. And that makes me feel it. It makes me trusting myself in the depth, my intention. I will just give my best. And that's the way I went to the university. And when I went then into a brain scan and the fMRI, and those things don't lie, they registrate. They saw me doing things inside the brain and the body, never, ever been shown in neuroscience. The principle, the moral, Benny, is you give the best, you get the best. And learn to trust that you are the owner of the best within yourself, to be able to give it all. So you are like an empty vessel, then things are able to happen to enter into you, bringing the solution.
I love that, and that study is incredible. We're going to put a link to that study in the show notes. It's something that certainly we learned as part of becoming an instructor, amongst 10 other scientific papers. And I encourage anyone who is in some way skeptical about the efficacy of the method to really dive into the science. The Radboud study is a phenomenal study. The Michigan State study, I think the Wayne State is the experiment.
Yes, that is the epic new study done. But last January, we had a new study coming out, published, also Wayne State University. Only now it was not me. It was the method on people outside of me. And they showed, and this is what they say about it, it's a landmark study. Because for the first time, they showed that they were capable of top-down regulating their bodies through their own will. And that is completely new. It shows that, hey, I'm not the only one to be able to do this. It's everybody. So think about it. Think about what you can do, how to make the best use of your own brain power, activity, your mind, to deal with everyday life. Because we are built to find solutions at all times. Learn to trust yourself and not to invest into doubt. Because if you invest into doubt, then the doubt becomes big. If you invest into your certainty of your intention, you will see it is going to manifest. It's neurology.
And you've answered the question that I was going to ask, which when people are listening to this, there may be a level of skepticism to say, well, that's fine for Wim. Wim's the Iceman. He's, completed these incredible feats of human endeavor. He's broken Guinness World Records, but how on earth can I do that? And you've just disclosed to me, which is an important finding as well, that actually this wasn't just you. They have actually tested this and confirmed science on the basis of others who are practicing the method. Now, we talked about the method, but just to clarify for the listeners, what we're talking about here is cold exposure, a breathing practice, a regular breathing practice of 20 minutes, and a mindset, with the three pillars of the Wim Hof method. Wim, how can people how can people who are hearing about the method for the first time, who maybe not have access to an ice bath, who are wondering about the breathing practice and what all this mindset stuff's about, what can people practically do? Let's pick up with the cold exposure first of all. What can people practically do to get benefits from the method?
So cold showers, they are good. There's a whole lot on the internet. It's all for free, by the way, about the basics and to get into it. Cold exposure is able to activate the deepest of our brain and body as no other. So think about that. If you want to learn to have control, first learn to activate the deepest of your physiology of mind and body. That's through the cold. So cold showers, doing a great deal already. Thermogenesis, cold thermogenesis. So that is cold. And in European countries, northern countries, the winters are cold.
How cold does it have to be, women, for how long?
Every person has a different physiology, but feel you go a couple of minutes, like in icy water or water at 10 degrees, a couple of minutes is amazing. It does the trick. It does the magic. It just brings the activation of our deepest of our physiology to the surface. Boom. There it is. There is no doubt. Brilliant. It is there. So that is one.
Super practical. Yeah. Take a shower in the morning, 1 to 2 minutes, cold, kind of 10 degrees centigrade is what we're saying here. So again, that's easy for everyone listening to do. The breathing practice, Wim, you've mentioned 20 minutes. So what typically do we do within that 20 minutes?
20 minutes, you lie down on the bed, yoga mat, or sofa, in a very controlled area, because you go deep. 30 times deeply in, let it go. Deeply in, letting go. 30 times will change the pH levels in our blood. Will become much more alkaline because we blow off carbon dioxide. Now, after the 30th of time, deeply inhale, we let it go and stop. We stop breathing. What happens? You can at least 1.5 minutes be without breathing because your pH levels are really up. And the breathing trigger is only when it is acidic. Now, the pH level is way up, so there is no breathing trigger. So you will be able to stay, imagine, 90 seconds first round without breathing. What happens is a series of physiological sequences inside the brain and the body. Because after 90 seconds, 5 times more blood will flow into your heart and your brain. It's a survival mechanism, and you will feel just great about it. It's like flushing. It's like the toilet. You need to flush, so the shit goes away. All our shit in our head and body will be flushed away. You become alert. You become peaceful. Wow, what a peace. Imagine in office work, when your head is exploding with all kinds of stressful activities, thoughts, and whatever is going on. You do 20 minutes of this breathing, and you are back on, totally in peace and totally alert. You will be able to take on all the stress flawlessly. So, why not do this? Just do it once. If it doesn't work, blame me. But if it works, keep on doing it and pass it on. That you are the master of your own stress, your own mind. So, after round number 1, after the 90 seconds hold, after exhalation, we take a breath fully in, hold it a moment, and press it a little bit to our head. That by which we coerce, manipulate, press cerebrospinal fluid to the head, which is alkaline, and it's got twice as much adrenaline in the cerebrospinal fluid than somebody who goes into his first bungee jump. Imagine, you completely reset inside the brain. And then you do another round. You go 30 times again, deeply in, and you let him go. Deeply in, you let him go. Naturally, your pH levels will go way up again. And then you will be able for 2 minutes after 30 breaths, after exhalation, to hold the breath. No need for breathing. Imagine what happens. A complete reset inside the brain and body. You refresh as this is worth billions. Because your mind is gonna work so much better. And it has been shown now lately in the study that the brain, the clarity of the brain goes way up. Cognitive awareness much sharper than meditation and or mindfulness. Imagine how much that is going to result in. When you are alert and in peace, you are able to do all the work you need and maintain calm. Amazing. So that's the round number 2. You do the same. Then 2 minutes hold. You take the last breath in, hold it again, press it to your head, cerebrospinal fluid, twice as much adrenaline. Hey, if something was not clean yet, now it's going to be clean. And then you do one more and do, say, 2.5 minutes. Anybody can do this. And let me tell you, viewer, besides Benny, I address myself to the viewer. Viewer, you better do this. This shit works. It's amazing. Just do it in the afternoon when your brain is sluggish. You know what I mean? When you shit work, need that deal. Oh, yeah, let's go, Bamba. Hey, want that? Take it on.
And what we're saying here to our listeners, to the viewers, is if this all seems a little bit abstract, if this all seems a little bit remarkable, just try it. Just try it. And rather than listening to Wim, listening to me, just try it and feel it. And what we're saying here, if you feel better, we know you will. If you feel better, then do more of it. If you don't, then you don't have to do this. But listen, what we're saying is listen to yourself, listen to your body and how you feel. Ultimately, as leaders of businesses who are having a profound impact amongst your teams, within your organization, amongst your community, society, economies as a whole, any advantage you can give yourself in terms of leading with strength, leading with resilience, leading with vision, I feel that certainly you should leverage that. Wim, you've spoken about purpose right at the outset, and I love your purpose to teach people across the world more control over their physical and mental health, cultivating a can-do mindset and increasing consciousness. Thus, people become happier, stronger, and healthier versions of themselves. Now, that isn't just a nicely crafted organizational purpose statement. Actually, there's huge science in the context of the happiness, the strength, and the health. Can you just speak to those 3 critical elements? And I know we've already kind of addressed a number of those things throughout the course of the podcast, but just speak directly to what is happening in relation to our health, in relation to our strength, in relation to our overall happiness levels, because ultimately these are components of successful leadership.
Yes. How about when people are exemplifying visionaries, leaders in the game? Then they should feel good. Simply, the purpose of leading well is to show that people lead healthy, happy, and strong. And the purpose therein is there to lead, to exemplify. So if these people cannot feel happy, strong, and healthy, then what is what they are propagating? Money or business or just ambition? No, that's what makes us happy, strong, and healthy. And energy and money is auxiliary, helps us. But in the end, we lead exemplifying. And exemplifying we do by learning to have, and that is the third pillar, the mindset that after doing the call, our physiology, our conditioning becomes different, becomes deeper, becomes more accessible. Then the breathing is able to cleanse us. And our will, then willful control over our body suddenly is able to be top-down regulated. And with that, we are able to regulate our emotions. And business is emotion. To make people happy, and being happy is actually the business we do. And that is what leaders should do and feel. Otherwise, you are selling shit. And we are not into selling shit. We are into selling and buying something that makes sense, common sense. And there can be money be earned, etc., because it's all about energy. But the thing is, we pass on something healthy, happy, and strong with a purpose of how even business can be a future serving to humanity. And that is where we missed out a lot in just share business, share numbers, and go insensitively. Now we have the control. We found a way of controlling in a mindset by which we are happy and we bring happiness. And then the business will flourish because in the end, business is energy.
So true. Here. In the context of the mindset pillar, you have achieved some incredible feats, and I encourage the listeners to Google this man if you're not already aware. He climbed Everest in your shorts to the death zone, scaled Kilimanjaro in 28 hours. You've swam under ice. You've hung at great heights with your fingertips. It's just incredible. It really is. And often people looking on go, well, this guy is just made of something different. But what are the mental practices? What are the mental strategies that you employ when you're about to embark on something that is truly mind defying in terms of the context of that achievement? What does your practice look like when you're going into that? Is it as simple as the breathing practice before you embark on something like that, or what does it look like?
Yeah, it looks like sincerity. It looks like trust. Trusting yourself every day. Every day you have the chance to get the best out of yourself. Every day. This is not just a slogan. This is not philosophy. This is research through neuroscience. It shows that the power of intention, that is willful control over our vehicle, our instrument, our mind and body is our instrument. Our willful control to make the intent, the programming of us, and then manifest it is there. It's now there. And we have shown this in brain scans, in blood proof. We have shown a control far more than we ever thought in medical science and psychiatric neurology up till now, we have shown the change. We have now put our finger on how we are able to access into 100% of our brain willfully. Is that possible? Hey, isn't that logical that we should have control over 100% of our own brain? Or is it a lump of meat which is out of control and just does something with us and we have no control over that? No, it's not. We have the ability to enter willfully into any part of our brain. That is the first thing we learn when we go into an ice bath, to reawaken the depth, the stress mechanisms, as we talked about it. This is in the deepest part of the danger part of the brain, the survival. We learn to have connection with that willfully. Thus, we learn to have control to the deepest. If we are able to go to the deepest, then suddenly, where else can we not go? Inside our own brain. And that is logical. And we alienated therefrom. But let me tell you, it's now here. It's now here. And through the scrutiny of science, we are showing in brain scans that we are able to ignite and activate any part of our brain. Isn't that amazing? So that with that comes, what do you need of the brain? You can make use of it. Everybody has a different purpose. Somebody wants to make a chair, somebody a travel, somebody a big deal, somebody a painting. Doesn't matter. All those faculties are existent. Yet, if we have no control over it, we cannot manifest it, and then we don't feel happy. Then psychosomatically, we become in conflict, we get stressed, and all the cascade. But now we found how to top down regulate our emotion, our willful control inside our own brain. Know that you have that at your disposition every day. Trust yourself and learn to capacitate yourself to have 100% control over your own brain to do what makes you happy, strong, and healthy.
Hear, hear. Before we move into the close, Wim, I want to be respectful of time. You're the boss. The boss in the Hoff household has just arrived, and I want to let you. Yeah. I want to let you go. You've inspired millions to really embrace fear and to get out of their comfort zones. Is there something that still pushes you out of your comfort zone? What are you fearful of?
Whoa. Sometimes it does, because I got a mission. And my mission pairs with a vision. And sometimes the vision can bring me in dark places where things are not manifesting. But let me tell you, I always keep on going, even when it is dark. And now my mission is not to reach millions, but billions. And I will soon get into mainstream healthcare, the wellness industry, and the corporate world. And with that, I will reach billions, because I love humanity.
Tell me a little bit more about some of the challenges that you've had scaling, because you've come from a school dropout to somebody who is now a household name, who has changed science, who has achieved these incredible records, and you're actually scaling. You're scaling with purpose. What are some of the challenges that you found in scaling that you've had to overcome?
Existent paradigm, making money the way it does, insensitively in this world. I think that needs to change. When I was 12 years old, I told my friends, if the world thinks it's normal that there is sickness, abuse, wars, pollution, depression, then I think it is sick and I'm going to do something about it. And what? I don't know. I just do it. So there I started 12, when I was 12. That is 53 years ago. And now I'm still on it. And it's exciting, the journey. But sometimes the darkness is there. And I suffer the death of my wife. I suffer the criticism of doubt in the people. But look at the world. Don't you would expect, if you want to bring happiness, strength, and health to billions of people, you have to get through the wall of ignorance. You have to get through the wall of existent paradigm that holds the money, that holds the power, that doesn't share the happiness, the strength, and the health in the world. So there I am ready to take them on. And I will be scaling up and become so big, yet staying humble. I'm a normal man. I'm a simple man. And I love my garden. I love my family. But don't touch the right to be happy, strong, and healthy. And if I can be the one to stand up and rise, and let me tell you, Benny, we are doing the same work. Only I got some more years into this. So my story is there. Hey, I always say, use and abuse my name for the good. So whatever is coming, we are ready for the dragon.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I use, and I'd like to say, I don't abuse, but I certainly use your name a lot. I integrate the method now as part of our 12-month ScaleX Accelerator program. And I'm curious, before I ask the final question, Wim, how, given your notoriety, and it's very kind of you to say we're on the same journey here, but I mean, you're pressing flesh with the Elon Musks of this world who are keen to understand the method, Sir Richard Branson, all sorts of celebrities. You're about to launch a film. So it's very kind to put the two of us into the same place. But how do you stay humble? How do you stay grounded? And I've had the privilege of meeting you on a number of occasions, and I have to say you've never changed. You're a man that's disinterested in the material things that money, that success in business brings. You bring incredible energy. You've never faltered from your purpose. You've always evangelized about your vision. How do you continue to stay humble and grounded?
I had times, and very long times in my life, where I was so-called nobody. And I was happy. And I suffered. And I overcame. It's nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with fame. That's what gives me all the power. My family is the love in my family. And if I am able to bring the love in all the families of the world, I will rise and fight the dragon once more. And once more, it's my pleasure. So there's nothing that holds me back, Benny. And it's nothing that us as fathers holds us back. We just serve the cornerstone of the universe and our bosses.
Wim, in closing, I've a tradition to ask this question, and I mean, you have such incredible wisdom. You're so well read. You've met the good and the great on this planet. Can you share with our listeners 3 timeless takeaways?
So, know that you are the owner of your own mind. Just think about it. Meditate on that. And until you are not aligned with 100% of your own brain, then your brain is not your servant. It is your servant. And it should be at your disposition. Only then you are able to become a happy man, a strong man, and a healthy man completely without minding. So, know that you're the owner of your own mind. That's number 1. Number 2, bring happiness to your family. at all times. Happiness, health, and strength. You are built to be able to do that. Anytime. They will bring happiness to you because the family is the cornerstone of the universe. The rest is but a serving power. Make your family happy. And then just be happy during the day, every day, and believe in yourself. Trust. Trust yourself to be and to become and to see the best of yourself every day. There.
Here. And before we release you to spend some time with your family, Wim, what's next for you?
There are the studies coming. And of course, I do all my retreats and I do new books and all. But I'm into pushing it now into mainstream healthcare, into the health systems of any nationality in the world. Because this deserves, this works. It's better than mindfulness and meditation. It's so direct, so simple, so accessible. So it needs to be pushed because you can know the truth. But if it is not known, then what is known? So until it's not known, I keep on pushing. And I did that already for 53 years. And I'll keep on going another 53 years, relentlessly. So there we go.
I absolutely love it, Wim. I want to thank you as ever for just showing up as you do. You're an incredible individual. We talk about CEO being Chief Energy Officer. You are the Chief Energy Officer of all of the CEOs that I've met. You always show up. You always deliver. You're always on purpose, and you're such a genuine, sincere human. And I wish you every bit of success in your purpose and manifesting your vision. I will do my little bit to certainly bring the method to the world.
We keep on doing our work, and that's where we come together.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing. That is absolutely the way we are going to change our minds, our understanding, and thus the world. We bring.
Here. And look, for anyone who doesn't know you, I don't think there's anyone on the planet at this stage who doesn't, but is there anything or anywhere you want to signpost them to then? Any other links that you would like us to include in the show notes?
No, I don't know. Just go to the Wim Hof method or, just try it once. And then you will see, because feeling is understanding. There it is.
There it is. Wim, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, buddy.
Wim, take care, my friend. Thank you so much, Wim. Amazing. I really appreciate it. Take care. Look, have a wonderful evening. Really appreciate it.